Good morning. Today we build a tanner and a weaver shop for our new farming area. Welcome back to MorningCraft. So we're back in the farming area and we're having a real problem with escaping goats. But if we put the goats aside for a minute, we're here to do two new buildings. We're going to make a weaver's building and a tanner's hut, where those two blue wool poles are. And so I carved out an area for where I wanted these to go. It's a whole new landscaped area with two tiers and a staircase. And we got each of the builds on one of the different tiers. On the left, we're going to have our tanner, and on the right, we're going to have our weaver. So the first one we're going to be building is our tanner. We're going to come back to the weaver in the second part of the episode. And so let's begin. You can see I put down a rough foundation for our tanner. And a little bit of a roof too. I also carved out some holes into one of the tiers, allowing me to put in some extra details. As this is a tanner, quite an unfortunate process has to occur to the cows before we can get the leather. I suppose we could use horses, but the sound effect is absolutely haunting if you do that. So, cows it is, they'll go into there, and we'll get leather afterwards. I don't think the people at YouTube would want me to give any more details. But before I can show you how awesome this tanner looks once we fill out the frame, let's go to a quick story segment.
The Earl and Harlan Ironshield Jr. had their eyes peeled away from the icy waters of Enslake as they heard bells chiming all around Thaldrim. Chaos and flames were everywhere as Vikings charged about the town, burning and looting. The Earl had not seen this attack coming and had no clue how it had gotten into the city with so little noise.
We must make it to the castle if we're to stand a chance.
Just as the Earl spoke, they were cornered by two warriors equipped with already bloodied swords.
I doubt we both get out of this. If you make it through this, Harlan, get into the castle and hold the walls. The dog will see the smoke and bring the armies of Mornington. Wait for them.
Okay, we're back, and you can see I filled out the building with some wool. I also added this cool roof on top of the tower, and it's starting to look like a really interesting building. I added a little bit of extra detail to our slaughterhouse, and soon we'll be able to bring the escaping goats here to be dealt with. But there's still a ton of extra details to be added to our tanner. It's nice to be populating the hillsides of our new farming valley. Thaldrim feels like a much more well-rounded town now that we have an agricultural area. And this build feels even more well-rounded now that it's got windows, lights and flower boxes. Although it doesn't look as good as our cathedral. I mean, how could it? That's literally awesome. But with a ton of extra details, this build is looking pretty sharp. From the polished tough tower to the pretty cornflower flower boxes, I'm quite pleased with how this one's turned out. But a tanner needs a bunch of interesting details hanging in the sun. But first, let's go to a story.
Good news, one and all. The Queen has given birth to a daughter, and the Dawn Protectorate now has an heir. Contact each and every leader within the Protectorate and ask them to gather here. Inform the Desolator that he is to stay at the wall. Olaf would likely attack while we're distracted. Harlan Ironshield, I would like you to go to Western Watch and defend.
At once, my king.
Since Velkiport fell, the Western Seas could be a source of attack.
And like I said, we needed a bunch of details hanging out in the sun. We've got this interesting fence here, and some interesting hanging posts for some leather. It's actually a brown banner, but how would you know the difference? Hopefully, you can use that leather to make some interesting clothes. Like a leather shirt I saw in Zara when I went shopping. Never go into Zara. But I went into Zara and apparently they play cool music in there, so I was like, fine, I'll have a look. So I went into Zara, all the clothes in there were weird. And then I see a shirt. Well, that's a weird shirt. Why does it look so weird? So I touch it. I'm like, what's going on here? And it's made of like really thin leather. Look at this cool shot of Thaldrim, that's good. Better than the clothes in Zara. But while I don't like the clothes I saw in Zara, what I do like is an old windmill design that I built in Mornington and have copied across to our weaver. I feel like they're going to need machines to weave all the cloth together after they've sheared the sheep. And this windmill is going to power whatever machine they come up with. I also think it would be Thaldrim policy that if there's ever an issue with the machine, a very small child would be sent in while it's still running to help fix it. So let's hope the wind isn't too powerful as it runs across this windmill. But alas, I'm pretty pleased with these two new builds for the farming valley in the Thaldrim Vale. I do need a name for this sort of farming area. I've got a couple names in mind, but if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. I won't take your suggestion unless you're subscribed though, so do that. Story segment, and then we'll showcase the build.
Victor, we're under attack. Fortify and prepare to close the portcullis.
Oh, Earl I already have. And the portcullis is firmly shut.
This is treachery. You wait until we're attacked. Then hang your banner and take Thaldrim at its weakest.
You think this is some opportunistic play? Who do you think led them through the passage? Inspired Ladigan to want a cathedral sending the precious canine away? Who fired a flaming arrow from your watchtower? The truth is, Earl, anything that is in your power to take should be grasped by its very throat. If you leave it for a lesser man out of pity, you are allowing the thing you desire to rest on the shoulders of lesser men. I wanted Thaldrim, and now it rests upon my shoulders. I see you are flanked by the son of Harlan Ironshield. He's a junior of his father's name, and my eldest son shares that with him. Let's put the Ironshield Armstrong feud to bed. Victor, shoot the Ironshield boy. Nowhere to run, Stonehelm. Surrender and meet your fate.
Stonehelm, go with Renjiro. Climb the wall and go now.
Lay down your arms, coward. Drop them. You are Hollow Stonehelm, the Hollow Earl of Thaldrim, replaced by Earl Armstrong.
So we're bing bang boopity back in Thaldrim, and it seems like it may be under new management. But the management isn't the only new thing, as we have two new beautiful builds on the edge of our farming valley. Although it's stiff competition in this vale, we've got so many wonderful builds, and I feel like we've really picked up some steam with the quality and the, I don't know, and the sort of, I just feel like everything's coming together now. Insert the, oh, it's all coming together meme, but don't actually insert it, because I have to like download the image, paste it in. You know the meme. Thaldrim's awesome. So are you. Thank you for watching. Hope you've had a really good morning. And if you're not watching this at morning time, I had to add the time in there. Hope you have an awesome day. Yeah, really, I feel like the builds are going well at the moment. And let me tell you, we've got 3 other awesome builds on the way. I've already recorded those. The builds, that is. So look forward to showing you those. Have an awesome day. My name's Stephen. I'll see you next time.